I've described Dick as like a great defensive end in football. He gets 15 sacks. Occasionally he'll get called for roughness for a few of the things that he does. But you know, you put up with that to get the sacks and to get a player like Dick. I'm going to be try to be real quick today in my discussion. Bernice, where are you now? There's Bernice over there. Bernice, I'm getting ready to tell a story on you. Bernice, getting ready to tell a story on you from yesterday, Bernice. So Bernice has a unique way of putting things in perspective. She comes up to me yesterday after this speech. She said, that Michelle Obama, she said, if I had a body like that, I'd be showing it off on the street corner every night. I said, Bernice, think about what you're saying. She said, well, I mean it. If I look like that, I'd be showing it off all the time. She is so good, Bernice, at the way she expresses things. Well, don't know if I would have said that, but let me tell you a quick story. Some of my friends here remember an old senator named Caldwell T. Red Henson from Lancaster. Did you remember Red? So Red served with me for a while, and we would get in Lancaster County. I saw Mandy Norrell here. We would go through and do these stump speakings all throughout the county, and you know, they're just awful and long, and they took forever. And Red got up and wanted to show his knowledge of every box, all 46 boxes in the county. He wanted to show. So he moved from box to box, and after about 15 minutes of that, a guy in the back of the room yelled, Red, how about dropping me off at Taxahall? So I know you all feel like that. You've heard lots of speeches, and you're probably ready for me to drop you off here at the courtyard. But I do want to talk to you a little bit about why this is all important. And Dick made a really important point. Whether it's Dick Riley, great governor, great, best Secretary of Education we've ever had in this country, no doubt about it. Or whether it's me, or whether it's a whole host of other candidates, you know, we all started at nothing. You know, if you want to start with an advantage, be a Republican in a lot of ways, you know? I mean, if that's what you want, if you want an advantage, do that. But I think of Mitt Romney out there. You know, Clyburn said yesterday that Romney was born on third base and thought he had a triple. And I told him after it was over, you know, the problem with Mitt Romney is he's on third base, but he wants to take us back to first base. He's going the wrong direction. And I think that's true, that in so many ways the Republicans want to take us back, but you got to fight. I mean, there is a small difference between winning and whining. And oftentimes you hear a lot of whining out there among Democrats about how bad things are in South Carolina. Well, I'm here to tell you, and I think Dick would say the same thing, that when we started out, there were people that didn't think we could win. And so many of our friends were out there whining about the state of the party and about what we weren't doing and about all the problems that South Carolina had. But you know what? A problem is an opportunity. And we've got an opportunity here. This is really important for us to be a part. We can be a part of not only helping shape our country, and what a difference in vision out there. You didn't think what you heard. We saw a diverse group of speakers. It wasn't show diversity like the Republicans had, where they had all their speakers that looked alike and then the 2 or 3 people that were a little different over the side, like they do. And they prop them up and want to make it look like this is reflective of their party. It's real diversity. I mean, it's America here. You know, the people that we see in this room, I mean, this is an incredible diverse crowd. And you know, there are 2 ways to look at diversity. You can look at it, Kay, as a threat, or you can look at it as wonderful opportunity and the ability to bring people together. And I had a reporter ask me the other day about the Democratic Party in the South, and I said, we are doing an important thing. We have a multiracial political party where we work across race lines, we work across gender lines, we bring everybody in, and it's important for the future of our region. And it's important for the future of our state as well. So there are a couple of things we've got to do as Democrats here, and I'll be, let's say, very brief about this. We've got to be a part of re-electing Barack Obama president. First and foremost. He's done a great job. He's done a great job in a difficult time, and more importantly, he's laid a vision out for the next 4 years. I'm a firm believer that to be elected mayor is a great mayor, or as a governor, you got to have two things. First, you got to show you got this up here. You've got the intellect and have the good ideas to try to take your state or your country ahead, and Barack Obama has that in a tremendous way. But the second thing is you got to show you got it here. You got to show you got a heart, and you understand how average people feel. And I think, if I could be impolite, that there's a slight difference between on the heart measure between the two candidates for president. We know Barack, we know where he's been, we know the way he was brought up, and we know where he's come from. He understands the problems of people in this room, and of people, the things that people talk about around the dinner table every night, the American families. He understands what it's like to be poor. He understands what it's like to worry about whether or not you're going to be able to go to college because maybe your family can't afford it. He understands what it's like to pay off student loans. He's paying those off when he became president, he and Michelle both. He understands what it's like to worry about whether or not you're going to have a job. He understands all those things. Now, Mitt Romney doesn't understand those things, doesn't understand any of those things. He might know something about show ponies in the Olympics. He might know something about bank capital and elevators and houses for cars and all those sorts of things that he has. But he doesn't understand, he doesn't have it here. I'm not going to disagree, he may have it here, but he doesn't have it here in the heart. And great presidents have it in the head and they have it in the heart, and great governors do too, for that matter. They have it in the head and they have it in the heart. But the last thing that great governors have, Dick, and great campaigns and great presidents have, is they've got troops. You know, it's one thing to have a great game plan. General Eisenhower had a great game plan to win World War II when we went to the Battle of Normandy that everybody mentioned earlier. He had a great game plan that he and his generals put together. But what would have happened if they hadn't had the troops to fight those battles? What do you think would have happened? We'd be speaking German now. That hadn't happened. Yeah, that's right. Maybe I shouldn't have mentioned the Germany analogy today. But the point is that to win elections, you need troops. And my friends, you're the troops here in the room. You can make the difference in this election about whether Barack Obama can. Well, you can make a difference in how we do with our local candidates in South Carolina by being out there and fighting every day. And believe me, it's important because there are a lot of 2%ers out there, the candidates that are that level. And if they didn't have the troops to help get them across the finish line, they wouldn't win. And the question is, we leave today, when the president delivers a terrific speech tonight, is whether we're going to be winning. Are we going to be winners or are we going to be whiners? I think we're going to be winners. Because I believe you all know how important it is. How important it is for the families back in South Carolina. And I think you also know that President Barack Obama, if re-elected, is going to generate 4 years of more jobs for our country, of more educational opportunity, of this terrific leadership that he's provided. We're going to see a stronger and better country, as President Clinton laid out last night. So I ask you to be a part of that with us, to work with us in South Carolina, to continue to build a strong Democratic Party, but more importantly, let's work together to try to make sure that President Obama wins this next election by leaving here as energized as we were last night when Bill Clinton spoke. Let's take that same kind of energy, Dick, out there to make sure that President Obama is successful in this campaign. Thank you very much for having me. And let's go knock on the head.
Thank you, Governor. It's nice to have a small town boy from Lancaster County come remind us of what we can